And what a pleasure it is to bring in big number 73, Trey Smith. Trey, my friend, we appreciate you spending some time with us. Congratulations on what this team's been able to do the last few weeks. And let's get right to it, man. What's been the key in your mind in the way you guys have turned things around on the football field?
Honestly, I can go back to after the Florida game. Coach Pruitt sat the team down as soon as we got back in Knoxville and sort of put us back in the focus. Just, identifying what we were doing wrong. It's not that we weren't playing hard, we weren't executing enough. And I think from that moment on, we all really bought into the system, bought into what the coach said, and try to apply it to everything we did on a daily basis.
Trey, I look at the seniors, the veterans on this team across the board, and every game it's seemingly somebody different. But the good football teams, the teams that hang in there, the teams that finish season strong, almost invariably have that type of senior leadership and veterans who get it done. In your mind, what's that been like with this football team to see that sort of take shape?
Yeah, there have definitely been some leaders on this team this year. Big shout-outs to guys like Nigel Warrior, Daryl Taylor, Dan Batuli. These are the guys that are really leading us day in, day out. In terms of, just development, we had a lot of younger guys step up to the plate. When their name was called, like Henry Toto, Wanye Morris, Darnell. Whenever we have people and their names called, ready to go, and that really could be a tribute to the coaching. But in terms of our seniors, man, we want to fight for them. Like Juwan Jennings, he always talks about, fighting for the seniors. And we take it to heart every time we go on that field to send them out right, send them out the right way they deserve to go out.
Trey, it's Austin. This team just seems like such a fun team to cover for me and a lot of the guys, just based off the fact that, you guys have got like three really cool comeback stories. Obviously yourself coming off the blood clots. You got Juwan as a comeback from just 2 years ago and being dismissed. Then you got JG, who has had this 6-week comeback from that terrible start to the season. What is it about this group that just does not say die? I mean, they just continue to fight.
Oh man, it's just not in our DNA to quit, man. There's no other way to put it. I guess the biggest word I could think of and fathom right now is just resiliency. No matter what the circumstances, we've been in some pretty bad predicaments. I know I've been since my college career started here. But no matter what happens, even from top to bottom, from the seniors I had in 2017 all the way up to now, we always believe in the system that we're never going to quit regardless of what happens in life. And what I've always been raised to do is never quit, always keep fighting to the next day. And I think, just everything that's instilled in us in this program, just never give up, never quit. Time's going to get hard, but you put on steam, man. You put on more steam. I think we live it every day. You can see it through all of our stories. That, we're just going to keep putting on more steam, like they say. We're going to get the results that we want, even though we don't have it at the moment.
Trey, I know you're not going to talk about the future, but just having been through what you've been through, do you really kind of relish every time you go on the field, and specifically this weekend's the last game of this season at Neyland Stadium? Will you just kind of soak that up?
Yeah, absolutely. Anytime I get to step on the football field, I always pray to God for the opportunity to be out there. Because honestly, it's a blessing to be out there. It's a privilege to play the game. But, I take every play. I try to give it my all, man. It's just really a blessing to be out there, and I love being out there. I'm just really thankful for the opportunities God sent me with.
Trey, it's Chris again. And I know having spent some time with you prior to the season, prior to last season, and just what you have had to go through just to get back on the football field. And I wonder what goes through your mind now before every game when you step foot on the field. I know how much it meant to you, how much it meant to your family to come to the University of Tennessee and play football and represent the state, the pride of Jackson. What goes through your mind before every game now when you step on the field?
It's sort of been a mental shift, I'd say. In the beginning of the season, I was more so nervous about everything working out, if I was going to play well, every time I step on the field, I always pray to God, that His angels will camp around me, that He has protection around me, that I'll play well. And I always think about my mom, I always think about my family, my friends, everyone who's helped me get to the point where I'm at. And I always think about that. And then I'm sort of reassured that everything's going to be okay. I'd say at the beginning of the season, there's more nervousness and anxiety that this is going to work. But now when I step on the field, I'm reassured every time I step on the field. It's sort of like I know I can get it done. I know God's blessed me with my abilities, that there's no reason I should be nervous, no reason I should be anxious, because I do this every day. You know what I mean? I'm made for it.
Right. Yeah, when I watch over the years, when I watch football teams get better and improve, the thing I always look for, and I guess I'm just old, Trey, is I look up front, offensive and defensive lines, and the way teams come together up front, the cohesiveness, the way they play with confidence. Now, you guys have played some different combinations up front offensively, but watching you improve week to week, I'm talking about the offensive line, and the way you be able to mix and match, and then the way last night you guys really sort of asserted your will. How pleasing has that been to you to see the way offensively you guys have come together up front?
Yeah, it's all a good moment when you can enforce your will on your opponent, especially on the offensive line. It's really a testament to Coach Chaney's system. It's a testament to Coach Friend's coaching, Coach Cam Clemens, Coach O'Brien, our strength staff, getting us ready in the offseason. Also a testament to Wanye Morris, Darnell Wright coming in as freshman, playing in circumstances they had to play in. Whenever our number's called, man, we're ready to go. And, it goes back to our training, man. That's what always goes back to, that we were trained, Tennessee trained, ready to go. But, it's a great feeling as offensive line coming together. I think the chemistry in the room is awesome. We have a great culture going forward. The future is really bright with the Tennessee offensive line. It's honestly, it's a joy. It's so much fun to be around those guys day in and day out.
Trey, it's Austin again. You've talked a lot about when you step on the field in this interview. What is it about you? I mean, like, I watch you interact with little kids, and you're like a gentle giant. You're leading this, coach for the cold drive. You've got such a big heart. But when you step between the white lines, I'm seriously thinking about hiring you when my girls get 16 and they're going out on dates as the guy that stands at the front door. You maul people, man. What's the difference? I mean, how do you turn it on and off? Because, like I said, when you're dealing with the common fan, you would never know that you were, such a bear out there on the offensive line.
Yeah, it's just switching the flip. Flipping the switch. Excuse me, I got that messed up. Man, it came from high school. I can attribute to my coach, Mickey Marley. One of the trainers, Artis Hicks, as well. I used to be gentle giant on and off the field. And then, they sat me down like, son, you know how big you are, you know how strong you are. What God bless you with. You want to get to the next level. When you're on the football field, no one's your friend except for your teammates in the same colors. So whenever I get in the field, my mentality is to be the enforcer. Snap start, snap finish. I'm trying to knock you out, basically. No matter what circumstance, after the play, I'm going to give you a little nudge, man. During the play, I'm going to try to drag you to the ground. I'm trying to punch you in your mouth, make you bleed the whole game. Because, at the end of the day, if you can break somebody mentally, your job's going to be that much easier. It's not about just breaking them at the first play. It's wearing them down over and over and over and over and over again until they're defeated, until they give up, until they quit.
Trey, specifically about this team, last night everybody's going to talk about JG and 415 yards and the 3 100-yard receivers, but I thought what was as impressive as anything was the way you all turned it on in the second half up front. Running backs ran hard, and Ty went from 1.7 yards in the first half to, averaging almost 5 yards a carry for the game. Tim was about 5 yards a carry for the game. What was the difference in the second half last night?
I wouldn't even say there's much difference. I think we just ran the ball a little bit more, if I'm not mistaken. I think we just got more comfortable in the system. Sometimes it's hard to start a game. In my opinion, it's cold, which it really shouldn't be a factor, but in reality it is a factor. You've been sitting out there, you've been ready to go, you got your juices flowing, you get out there, and the game's a little bit of a different tempo, a different speed than you're used to playing, and then you adjust to it. I think in the second half we adjusted. We knew the different formations they were going to bring. We knew how they were going to act in certain situations, scenarios, and, we sort of were ready for it. It's sort of a testament, once again, to Coach Friend, Coach Clemens, the whole offensive staff for having us ready and prepared to go.
Trey, we'll get you out here on this. It's Chris again. I know you've been – just such a cog on the field for Tennessee and what you've done. But off the field, kudos to you, my friend. You and your teammates have been very involved in gathering coats for those in need. I know you've helped last year feed the homeless. Is that something? Is that a program or something you guys want to do again this year? Is that something going forward you're going to try to do?
Oh yeah, absolutely. It's actually in the works right now. We're just sort of working out a couple of kinks and things like that, just straightening it out. But we're definitely going to do that in the next really month, or maybe even sooner. That it'll be after Thanksgiving, obviously, but that is definitely something we're going to pursue. I want to make sure that's a thing that, regardless of who does it, I want the team to do that annually. So I want to get back to community anytime, any way we can, really.
Well, Trey, man, I know that I know how much it meant to you, and having gotten to know you over the last few years, to come to Tennessee in the first place and try to get this program back to where all Tennesseans want to see it, of all fans, and to see it turn around the way it has this year. I know how much that means to you, and I know you guys want to finish it, and we appreciate you spending some time with us. And I can tell you this, Trey, big number 73, I know your mom's smiling down right now from heaven on you.
Yes, sir, I appreciate it. Thank you.